Looks like an octocoral.
Come in a bit tighter, I think, if we want to try. It's kind of nice.
This is making me dizzy.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Making me dizzy, for God's sakes.
It's really impressive videography, though.
Okay.
It's nice
All right,
of them.
Coming wide.
Like a movie action shot.
Nice flying.
So that was really tall. Probably
Yeah.
a few meters.
About the height
Looks
of
like-
Herc.
Yeah, about her height.
You can
How
see
tall
an
is Herc?
Argus cam on the side of Hercules.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the ship is scooting off to the north, right?
Yes. You want me to match their bearing?
I just didn't think we were that far. I'm gonna just shoot off ahead here.
Okay.
Yeah, match that. We'll get up
Gotcha.
behind them. Realize you're that far ahead of them.
All right, I am matched up. Bearing 0.
Do you want me to steady up or just keep moving?
No,
and
that's
cut
all
me
right.
in?
He's not going very fast.
Okay. Bridge nav. One more step, please.
Thank you.
Hey, Jamie,
Hey.
there are things on the seafloor that are going to eat those urchins? Or are they pretty...
I think at this depth, they're pretty far up on
the
the
chain?
food chain. Maybe a fish, maybe an octopus.
But a lot of them tend to have kind of protective spikes and spines and things,
Well, I
right?
think all of them do.
Yeah.
If they're sea urchins. But that doesn't necessarily protect you from everything. Other predators evolved to be able to eat such things, but yeah, I don't think they're facing a lot of predation
Drag Argus
down
back out here.
Food is scarce for them too, or else we'd probably see more.
Yeah.
I'm going to change these intervals a little tighter. Oops, not that. This one.
So are we moving over volcanic flow here?
What kind of clastics? Yeah, so these are all just lava flows, lava bombs. Kind of erupted at some point. Fractured. Everything's kind of a little bit manganese crusted. So we're still on the flanks of the cone.
And how's about how far are we off of Kingman Reef? If that is a question that makes sense.
How far from the seamount proper?
Yes.
I don't know if
Here, right?
maybe Chris can measure
Yeah, I
that
can
for us.
take a look at that. Just give me a sec.
No rush. Thank you.
All right, just looking for the peak.
I'm gonna pull you around and see if I can get you up here.
Okay. Yeah, there I
You
am.
can just take a 180
If you take a
heading, or if you got auto heading on,
Sure.
just turn it off and go 180.
Okay, and I'll come up on my delta a little bit.
Yeah.
We're pretty good stretched out.
If you take a look at the quad view right now, you can see Chris measuring that on his computer.
Thank you, Steven.
Yeah,
No
so
pressure, Chris.
yeah, right in front of us, we're looking at just about 420 meters, bearing 002 approximately to the peak.
Very cool. Thank you.
Chris, can you let the ship stop when they're finished their move?
Yes, I can.
See if I can get Argus back where he's supposed to be.
We're just about steadied up.
Okay.
Kevin, could you give our current viewers a little overview of what the manganese crust is and how it forms in these areas?
Certainly. So manganese crust, or ferromanganese crust, it's a combination of two different oxides. Iron oxide plus hydroxyls, so FeOOH, and manganese oxides, MEO2. And what on the deep ocean, they become kind of stable as a solid phase. And iron oxides have a slightly positive charge, while manganese oxides have a slightly negative charge. So they tend to stick to hard surfaces and stick to each other. So they kind of pull out of the seawater chemistry. So a hydrogenetic process where they kind of just accrete then onto any hard surfaces. So either calcites, carbonates, lava flows of like basalts, but they can't form on sediments per se. But they just kind of very slowly, at a rate about like 1 to 5 millimeters per million years,
Oh, wow.
they form on the surface, and they just basically kind of be pulled out of the ocean chemistry and accrete. And this area is kind of unique because it has incredibly high cobalt concentrations. Some of the iron manganese crusts from these areas have cobalt concentrations up to 1.2 weight%, which is the highest, I believe, in the Pacific.
Wow.
So there is some value economically to attain them because they also have very high nickel. I think about up to like almost a
I'll give you some
8%.
slack and you can flip around.
Okay, sounds good.
But they're hard to mine, so it's not necessarily cost effective. Of course, you can't mine in this area because it's protected, but yeah, they're a very slow chemical sedimentary rock.
Cool. Thank you.
No problem.
Why would there be more cobalt in this region?
It has to do with the deep ocean
Alright,
chemistry.
try and turn.
So why exactly?
Okay.
I'm not sure.
To,
It might be downwind of like
Yeah.
East Pacific rise, so
Yeah,
maybe the
yeah.
mantle input of cobalt.
Yeah,
What? Turn
Likely
off.
not continental runoff because it's kind of far.
right.
Yeah, we're a little far from.
Anything.
Yeah.
And did you say it forms 1 millimeter every 5 million years, or
Every
5?
million years it forms up to, it varies between 1 millimeter to 5 millimeters every million
For
years.
a million.
That might be the slowest thing I've ever heard of.
Yeah. So they're really good for like looking at kind of long-term climate changes and stuff. You can kind of use them for long-term ocean chemistry changes because a nice thick rind can cover, tens of millions of years.
Wow.
Cool.
And there's also been used evidence for past supernova impacts on Earth. So in a supernova, since it's such high energy, you can form an isotope called iron-60, which you can't really form any other way. And this iron-60 has a short half-life, so all the iron-60 that formed with Earth has decayed away. But if you look back in some of these iron manganese crusts and nodules, to about 4.5 million years ago, you get a spike of iron-60,
Oh.
indicating we might have been impacted by a supernova. And you see the same spike in deep-sea sediment cores at the same time as well.
And what exactly does that mean, to be impacted by a supernova?
Basically, some supernova in our neighborhood,
Start moving again.
in our galactic neighborhood,
Mm-hmm.
went off, and it just sent little tiny particles at us.
Oh,
so
wow.
whether it had any impact on Earth at all is kind of debated. Some say it might have changed climate somehow.
Mm-hmm.
Some say it might not have any effect.
On our way.
But we can actually see it, though, in the chemistry because it's so
Yeah.
sensitive. Our ability to detect these chemical signatures.
Yeah, we're getting a fair bit of speed and we're getting dragged too close to the bow. So, I mean, we're quite deep. Doesn't really matter, but watch the wire angle. You don't want to be just a bad orientation to be in.
That was a really good explanation.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Oh, thank you.
So is
Well,
that kind
part
of
of
like...
my postdoc project is working on supernova event that
Cool.
impacted Earth.
Nice.
I'm looking at helium-3 though, as opposed to iron-60, testing whether it's a true supernova event or if it's some other process that we don't quite understand.
So it's like space crumbs
Well, yeah,
hitting
essentially.
Earth.
Interplanetary dust particles is what I usually look at, or just
So would those particles be hitting the Earth over a long period of time, or would it kind of be a really short blast of it?
it
Come
seems to
down
be
a
a
bit,
long period of
doesn't
time.
Sure.
Cool.
So it seems like we get, yeah, you would think, well, I would think it would be a short blast, but actually it seems to be a continuous process for, it's hard to tell how long, but at least tens of thousands of years.
We've got a organism in the Argus camera.
And what's the sampling strategy to get data for that?
For iron 60, you just want a good amount of the material because it's really hard to measure.
From all over?
Yeah, from either manganese deposits or much better is marine deep sea ocean cores. So where you have just wind-blown dust and you get really low sedimentation rates, but that you can get the lower the sedimentation rate, the higher input then from galactic particles you can get because it's not as diluted.
Right.
So you want to go to the red clays that you find in like the deep ocean basins. That's the best place to look for them.
Galactic particles is such a good phrase.
Yeah, it sounds fancy. Another thing that ferromanganese crust can tell you is the texture. See, like these little boulders have kind of a bubbly texture almost.
Can we zoom
It's
on
called
that
a
yellow crinoid in front of us?
Yeah, that's called a Boitriota texture,
Coming in.
and that's how it kind of wants to form naturally. So a lot of times you'll see it kind of with that texture, but occasionally you'll see it with really smooth texture, which happens when you have strong deep ocean currents. It kind of smooths it out, makes a laminar structure.
Very cool.
Coming in a bit tighter here.
Yep.
Oh, I see a
That's
couple
full zoom.
friends in this shot.
Yeah, so this is one of the unstocked crinoids. Mostly we've been seeing stocked crinoids on this dive, and then the little brittle star is booking it in the
Yeah, he's
background.
really moving.
That looks like a really fancy crown.
I love to watch those unstocked ones flutter through the water. Looks so cool.
Yeah, the stocked ones, once they're situated somewhere, they can't move, but the unstocked ones do have the ability to swim through the water by moving their arms, so that's pretty cool. All right, we're good on the zoom, thank you.
All right, wide, please.
Coming wide. Those remind me of ferns or fiddleheads.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, the curl.
Bridge nav.
Ooh, is that a big coral to the left?
Yeah.
Big.
One more step, please.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Hey.
Sneaking up on you.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Got nice branches.
Looks like they're a little closed up at the top and more opened up at the bottom.
Could we get a zoom in on the coral somewhere, see if it has any visible nodes or details about the polyps?
Yeah, go ahead, video.
Yeah, so this is a bamboo coral. I'm pretty sure you can see occasional black nodes along the stalk.
And so those are areas of the skeleton that are more protein rich than the other parts?
Yes. And they give it some flexibility, and they also persist longer after the coral is deceased. The main part of the stalk is calcium carbonate based, and that can degrade faster than the
Come wide there.
pugnacious bits.
Just want to
so
scoot here. Ship's
Coming
going
wide.
off without us.
Seems like a pretty big
Full
base
wide.
on that coral, too.
yeah, that's quite
Yeah,
an
Argus seems to be
extensive one.
keeping
Probably
pretty good in the middle of the ship until we get to the end of the move. Starts moving up a little closer to the bow.
200
Yeah.
years old, probably.
Wow.
Do you want time to pull it or keep it going?
What's that? It's just a bad orientation to go up the slope.
Yeah.
you need to take some time, I'll be happy to take a sample over here.
Yeah, get the ship to stop, and then we'll drag it out a little bit, and we'll get you a rock
Sounds good.
while we're figuring out.
Get Kevin a rock.
Maybe when we set down, Chris, to go rock hunting, you talk to them and see if there's any way they could take another heading.
Roger that. We are currently holding position.
Roger. Okay, Kevin, I'm just going to push forward a little bit, and then we can sniff around for a rock.
Sounds good.
And what's the kind of rock that you're looking for here, Kevin?
I want a relatively fresh basalt, ideally with some kind of phenocryst. So it has some larger crystal phases, so plagioclase or amphibole biotite. I can do clinopyroxene.
So these are different minerals that form in the basalt, or
Correct.
form from the volcanic eruption.
Now these, well, they form in the magma chamber prior to the eruption.
Mm-hmm.
So some of the crystals start to form early because they're stable at higher temperatures and pressure.
Mm-hmm.
So you start building up larger crystals, and then when you erupt it, they get trained along with it.
Very cool. So when you say fresh, we're looking for stuff that doesn't have that manganese crust so much on it.
Kind of. I mean, we're not going to
fine with
find anything
some.
without it.
Oh yeah.
But more, I want it not to be super fine grained and glassy because that tends to alter really quickly.
Mm.
So most of these are probably fine grained and glassy because they're mostly pill basalts, it looks like.
That'd be better. Thank you.
But we'll take what we get. We got 3 chances.
Kevin, are you seeing anything?
Yeah, right where you just passed was pretty good.
There's a bunch of little stuff over here.
Yeah. So most of these little stuff's on the right of the laser.
They're good candidates?
Yeah, I would say
Okay.
most of these are pretty good candidates.
Can we go full wide on the Zeus, please?
That's full wide.
Oh, Roger.
So what about the one south, right below the lasers?
Okay.
Where you're kind of moving towards. So it's in between 2 larger rocks. Need like a laser pointer. So point at their screen.
We have a stick of pointing, but it's not long enough to help you out.
Yeah.
The analog option.
The stick of pointing.
Well, these are definitely loose. That
We
one's just
do
moving.
sometimes have Nav hold the stick, and you tell them when they're pointing at the right one.
I think
It
I could
has
figure
Just
worked
that out.
extra
before.
layers. So
There.
whichever one of these you think will fit in the box that are being bounced around, I think will work.
Oh, like right in front of the porch, or
Uh,
baseball-sized one?
Yeah.
yeah. I think that baseball-sized one, I think it's in the center of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I see the arm in the bubble cam? Oh, of course, Herc is moving away. All right, stand by. All right.
Whichever rock you pick, if we could get a zoom before you pick it up, that would be awesome.
Roger. How about Like this one?
Yeah, that was the one I was originally thinking.
All right, we can zoom in there, video.
Coming in.
All right, we're good on the zoom.
Okay. Full wide. And kind of a partial zoom. Yep, that's great.
Oh, it's completely encrusted. It'll be a nice little Kinder Egg surprise.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you have no way of telling.
So is this one worth putting in the big starboard boxes, or can we stuck it in one of the other ones? It's kind of small.
It's pretty small. I heard a rumor there's a small box free in the starboard bio box.
There
Okay.
is the aftmost small box.
Yeah, D.
Yep.
How much can I see over here? Not much. Can you move the bubble around so I can just see the end of the manipulator? Yeah, see if I'm going to clear all this. Oh. Excellent. So yeah, you were asking earlier, right when I get it around there, and then I think it's, I guess it's starboard, salvo. Ugh. And then you gotta select the right cameras. So that's one of them. And yeah. Okay. Yeah, bring the tray out.
If you check out the quad
Okay.
feed right now, you can see us depositing this sample in the box. Get a good view of that bio box on Argus Cam as well.
Jamie, if I could ask, what sample number is this going to be?
This is going to be sample 008.
008, roger.
These giant jaws.
Nice one.
Boom, bingo.
Thank you. That looks so much nicer than trying to put a sponge in there that keeps floating away.
Yeah.
The rocks seem to, you know, go along with what we want
Yeah,
a
I
little
think
more.
Yeah, I think so. There's a variety of messages in there. Salvo normalement.
So to our viewers at home, you're going to start to, in the next
And
couple
can I
minutes, hear some
see the arm a little bit.
rustling and
I should be able to,
changeover
actually.
as we are relieved for dinner.
Tight spot.
Do you guys want to stay stationary for relief?
Hmm?
You want to stay stationary for relief?
The ship, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh no, they don't want to sit there. They're gonna want to move. All right, second here.
Roger that.
Science, are we doing Niskin water sampling on these dives?
We are. We're doing limited Niskin water sampling, but we are going to do some. So they've fired one earlier. So we're going to be firing them for environmental DNA.
Very cool. So that's our team will process the water samples and eventually start to look at, you know, the DNA that's found within these water samples to get an idea of what might be in the area. And if I remember correctly, were we taking or planning on taking them in like higher density areas of coral, or?
Yeah, I think we typically fire them over a coral garden or coral
Party.
Yeah, once we see a
Yeah.
lot, then we need a baseline as well.
Yeah, we target trying to have an area that ideally has multiple species of coral, and or coral and sponge in combination. And then, as Allison said, we need one background control that's taken in an area that doesn't have visible coral or sponges, or a very low density of them at least.
Cool. Thank you. And for those wondering what's for dinner, we're going to find out. It's always good, though. They feed us very well.
Hello, hello.
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 Hey guys.
Hello.
Hi, hi.
All right, so the
Hey.
plan for us now is what's on the next docket here for us?
We're going to keep heading towards the waypoint on top of the cone. Hopefully we'll see some biology somewhere. And I'll probably sample 2 more times by the time we're done with this cone, but I don't know exactly when. I might want to go down the other side before I grab any more samples.
All right, sounds good.
Thank you.
We got about
If you could spot another rock before Mike comes back from dinner, that would be awesome.
Yeah,
Oh.
totally. You want to
Alright.
zoom out there on the map? All right, so it looks like what type of heading would we want?
it's about, I'm going to go due north, so 0, and we got about 340 meters to go.
Okay, so maybe we type those in about 20-meter steps.
Roger that. Ridge nav.
Is it hard for you guys to go down a ridge as opposed to up it?
Yes.
So it might be better than to go straight. You see where it's steep on the ridge? Go straight up that ridge
Yeah,
then.
that's a good idea.
Because that's probably where the talus where I'm going to want to sample is.
So kind of follow this contour over and then go up.
Yeah, follow this contour and then go up.
You hear
Okay,
that?
so follow the
Like
contour
over.
that we're currently on right now, and then go up slope from there.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so they probably want a movement that's more.
Out and around.
Okay, so you want to go
Roger
something
that.
like this and then go up.
Yeah, so it's looking at a 040.
040. Okay, so you can go ahead and just call them
Yeah,
the
I'll
040
just-
instead of the 000.
How do they switch it? Oh, must be somewhere. You can go if you want.
Yeah,
Run out a bit.
yeah,
You're right underneath the Argus, I think.
yeah. But yeah, you can see them kind of
Full
type
tilt
in there.
down.
Full tilt down, Roger.
Run away, run away.
All right. Currently sliding over.
Roger.
So Jess, I've been pushing in past the meso cam. Let me know if you feel comfortable to do that at some point.
Yeah, how about I
Cool.
cock my head out there to the side and go ahead and push in a bit.
Thanks.
So what's kind of neat about this region geologically is we've been kind of going along these steep scarp walls. It seems like there's a lot of mass wasting events that have happened on the side of this seamount. And even this little volcanic cone that came after that seamount formed appears to be mass wasted as well. I mean, it's very steep on the east side
I'm
of it.
coming up a bit there. If you want to fall on the winch.
Hey, Allison.
Hello.
Seeing A bit more life over here.
Gonna come up a bit there on the winch there, Dan.
Roger, coming up.
Yeah, so
Coming up a little faster. A little steep.
Yeah, it's getting a little steep. Okay.
We're 20 meters.
Hello, coral.
No more biologists in the room.
Another real long one.
Hey!
Is there? We still have a biologist in
I'm a
here?
biologist.
Oh, sorry. Thought this was team geologist on this one.
That is a
She is
bamboo.
out.
That is a bamboo coral.
She is outnumbered.
Like
I've
last
got my
watch,
foot in both camps.
last watch we would have had to stop and get some better video of that.
I'm just going to keep going at this 040 if that's all right.
Roger.
Until we get to...
Coming up 2 meters.
Go ahead and change about your heading a bit. Bring it a little bit.
Copy.
Bridge nav. We can add one more step. Thank you.
Speaking of biology zooms, could we get a zoom in the middle of the screen on that pinkish coral?
Pinkish coral, Roger. Let me get a little bit of light on this guy first.
Looks more orange, actually.
Okay, video, go ahead and zoom in a bit there, please.
All right, zooming in.
Hold that.
Mm.
Can just pop up a little bit. Okay, video, go ahead and push in a bit more there, please.
I'm zooming in more.
That's good, thank you.
Octo.
Some kind of octocoral.
Interesting color.
Yeah, it's got the pink stalk and yellow polyps. It's a nice contrast.
And a nice brittle star in there.
All right, thank you very much.
Go ahead and come wide, video, please.
Zooming out.
Up 2.
Bridge now. One more step. Thank you.
And a reminder to our viewers at home that even though we're doing some switching over for meals and such, you can still send your questions in to nautiluslive.org, and we will try our best to answer them. Thanks again for joining us as we explore southwest ridge of Kingman Reef here in the Pacific Remote Islands Marine National Monument.
A sponge or a tunicate or something up
Yeah. Let's go have a look. Hair.
Oh, yes.
What is that?
Left my wig.
Is that your wig?
That's my wig.
It's not a very good one. You better taste in wigs. Sorry to say it.
Video, you want to zoom in a bit there, please?
Yeah, sure. Zooming in.
Hold that.
It
Some
looks
kind of
like the,
encrusting sponge or something?
or it looks like the glass
Glass.
sponge base almost.
Yeah, it's definitely a glass sponge. You can tell by the sort of straight spicules. You can see them best at the bottom.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks like that other one we saw earlier, but without the white mound on the top.
Oh, you guys saw one?
We saw one like this, but it also had this is sort of a dirty tan color. We saw one that was like this, and then it had sort of a pure white glass sponge on top. So I don't know if they were two types of sponges or more of the same type, just different morphologies.
Or this one had the top fall off.
Yeah, I don't know.
You guys want
Alright,
to add
video, come
another
wide,
step
please.
at 40 and then start to
Video,
kind
come
of
wide,
shift?
please.
Going wide.
Thank you.
What do you think?
Sorry?
Argus still has a bit of way to get here, but we're starting to get around this kind of feature. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
it looks like
you wanna
there's
do
a
another
cavity in there
40?
that something used to be.
Yeah, so maybe we can go,
Do
we'll
one
probably do our northerly moves, I would say.
You want to start now?
Yeah.
You're looking straight up the hill, I think.
Let's
I
split the
think-
difference. We'll
Yeah.
do a 1-5.
All right, we can see the difference there, Annie.
Otherwise, you'll have to climb a bit,
Okay.
I think, because I wouldn't want Argus getting close to that.
Roger. We can do a 4-0 then, and then
Coming up
I don't
too.
know. I think it's got a lot of, like you were saying,
has a lot of latency in it,
yeah.
right?
Bridge
Excuse me.
now. 20 meters, bearing 015. Yeah, I think it should still.
I like the hand motions.
Thank you.
You can see nicely in the Argus view that we're at a steeper part of the cone now.
Yeah, it looks like this cone is kind of split in half right here. It just gets very steep, and you can kind of see the lava flows clearly.
Now it's a $5 million rock crawler.
That's true. Some big slabs. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll stomp on the winch.
Roger.
Some kind of critter on that slab.
You want to try north for the next one?
Yeah.
Okay.
It looks like we're
You
going to
can
get away from the wall.
really
there.
see the distinct flows there. That's cool.
Bridge nav. 20 meters, bearing 0. Thank you.
Got some beautiful lava flows. A little call on it.
Yeah.
She's
Gonna
ditching me.
turn Argus a little to look into that hill there, 20 meters away.
Roger.
Looks like there's a purple color on the bottom as well.
Oh yeah.
You ready? You do. So,
We can come up a little bit. Yeah.
cliff of
Yeah,
Great
I was
handoff
looking at-
notes.
right at that, I was like, pretty
Yep.
close.
Let's
Yeah.
come up a little bit there.
See if it
come up
swings
with them
way
20
over.
meters away from the cliff of death,
Yeah.
the wall of death. It's gone pretty much vertical, has it?
Looks like it.
Yeah.
You want back in here, Kylie? Do you want back in here? Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Sweet.
So, no.
Yeah, this is better.
No, I'll wait.
You want to grab a sample?
Yes. Where?
Do you see this talus kind of loose rocks on the slope? It's like a slight right above the lasers.
Okay.
I think over here we can find a nice angular rock.
Okay.
Rock sampling on the fly.
Rock sampling on the fly. Yeah. Be
Does
a
that
little
mean-
hard to set down a bit.
Yeah, I don't know if you can't do it, it's fine.
You poke, I'll grab.
Yep.
Argus
Yeah,
is
so the
probably
deal.
moving, so
the deal.
it might have to be a little quick thing, but I think you
Yeah.
guys can do it.
Nudge in there somewhere.
Hannaford's gonna be so mad.
Ramming speed.
Man, they're up there sampling.
But you wanna take that Mongo and.
They're going to come kick us
Here's
out.
Mike.
I tried to give you guys a chance.
What do you want, Mongo?
Yeah. Do you want Mongo to?
This will be the 4th rock total.
Yeah.
Takes for
Again.
ever to move Mongo. Well, they're back.
All
You
right.
guys want this?
Well, we're gonna probably swing over them.
What's that?
So we might swing over them.
They can settle. It might be all right.
Okay. Sorry.
So
We tried.
Uh-huh.
We were so close. All right, Mike. Oh, sorry.
just any of that scree there. Yeah.
So yeah, right where you get the little bit of white sediment, right where your laser is, if possible. he's likely just direct from that lava flow that this whole cliff is made of.
Okay.
Kylie, do you mind changing your heading to port? See if we can still keep him in view. Thank you.
Are you being assaulted by a shrimp?
They're coming for us.
We are still moving, but I think you'll have enough leash here to be alright. But the ship is all stopped. It's just a little bit of Argus movement.
Stay there. Okay.
So one of the larger ones, like the, right below the claw, is that one possible? In the center?
Below the...
So right to the lower and left of your claw right now. Yeah.
Lower and left of what?
Right
Oh, the
there.
Oh, the claw.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
the claw,
Oh,
sorry.
I see what you're after. I
Yeah.
got you. This guy. That one?
The bigger one to the left.
All right. You
If
want to
it's
image
possible, yeah.
it? Yeah, go ahead and zoom video.
Plenty of manganese, as per the usual.
Good there?
Looks good to
All
me.
good.
Yep.
Okay. Full wide, please.
All right, full wide.
Just before we slip off here. Not very stable.
Ooh.
You cannot have it.
It's really crusted there.
No, if you can't get it off, just kind of move around and see if any of these will come off. As long as it's not too small.
Is this one? That's,
I think
that's not gonna be good
Yeah.
anyway. What about this one?
yeah, that'll be fine.
Yeah, no worries.
Yep.
The one on top of it that's already moving?
Yeah, this one does move.
This one
okay,
goes.
cool.
Ah.
Thank you.
You think that'll fit in the small box? Did we already fill that one?
Yeah, we used box D.
D's filled.
D's
Rats.
filled.
Both of the starboard outboard bio boxes are open though.
Those are so big though.
Oh, can we get a zoom in on the underside? Or is it max zoomed?
No, it's not zoomed at all yet.
Ah.
Video, zoom in there.
Zooming in.
Oh, it's got some little crystals in it I can see. I don't know. Hopefully they're clinopyroxenes. We'll take it.
Take it. Where do you want to put it?
Dealer's choice.
The big bins are open in the box. I don't know if you want to burn them on this guy.
Yeah, because I'm only allowed one more rock after this, so
Oh,
might as well burn them. Yeah.
All right. Full wide.
Full wide.
Yeah. Exactly. Follow me around. Watch the jaw there. It's going to be too tight. That's tight.
oxidation. No problem.
Oh, that's not the right one. This one. Okay, box out. Both are free, right? That's good there.
Yes.
Perfect, thank you.
Forward.
And again, you're going to hear some rustling on Nautilus Live in the last 10 minutes and a couple minutes now as we come back from our relief, our dinner relief, and continue to explore.
As we're on the edge here, I switched vehicle marker to USBL, and master position source is still on the dead wreck.
Roger. Oh. Yeah, just leave that where it is for now. Hold what you got there for a second.
Sample ID for that one was 009.
009.
Okay.
All right, all set.
Hey, hold on a second. Get my bearings. Where are we going, you mean? Yeah, we're still going north?
Yes, we are.
Okay, let me get out. I'll get out ahead of you there.
Is this a good distance for you guys?
Yeah, I think so. Let me just get back out where I should be. Yeah, let me get a bit closer to you though.
I see a coral.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a big one.
Couple of them. And Kevin, we've actually got some folks interested in the constraints around rock collection in this area. If you can elaborate on that, is why we're can only take a few samples.
I cannot because I didn't actually read the permit. But when Allison gets back, she can
Awesome.
fill you in on that.
We are in a protected area, so
Right.
that is what comes into play there.
As a geologist, I'm not trusted with such things. We're known to trespass to get samples.
Okay, so see, I'm facing like westish, and we're going along the strike of the wall, and we're going to move north, so we're just going to go like this. So I think we're going to... That's sound correct, science back row? We're just looking at the strike of the ridge, right?
Yeah, we're just following it along, and then we're going to go up it once we get closer to the waypoint.
Yeah, so we'll look out due westish.
Okay.
Or whatever the strike is there.
Okay.
Alrighty, we good to start moving?
Yeah, go ahead.
You want to zoom in on
Roger that.
Oh, another one.
Yeah, sure. I mean, if we gotta have some time, can we zoom in on one of these corals? Tight zoom.
Yep. I'll give you this one I'm going to, and then I can get you another if you like. Go ahead, video.
Coming in.
One of the arms is partially inflated. You see that?
Yeah.
In the background there?
Must have stubbed it.
Or actually, there's there might be predator. You see, there's like something on one of the tips of the arms, right in the middle there.
I can come in a little tighter.
Go ahead.
I wonder if there's a predation action going on there.
It looks like more.
Or is that just the
Just looks like
the bad view?
a bend in the
Yeah.
arm.
Yeah, that's, yeah, bend exactly.
misleading bend?
Yeah. So never mind.
Okay, full wide, and I'll try and get one of the other ones here.
That's a big one.
Okay.
For
Zoom in there. I'll just come around to the side of it.
Pretty.
yeah. So this is a precious coral, an octocoral. It is in the family Coralliidae, and it's probably in the genus Hemicorallium. Just looking at a few of the closed polyps, Hemicorallium is very identifiable because it has column or barrel-shaped, cylindrical-shaped polyps. And I see a few closed polyps here, so I can pretty safely make that claim. The other groups of Hemicorallium don't quite have the same polyp structure when they're closed. They're usually concave in some cases, so forming mounds rather than cylinders. Beautiful.
Can't really get in anymore there. I'm pretty much up on the wall.
I think you're okay there. I think satisfied with that footage.
Ridge nav.
All right.
Coming wide.
Request 20 meter step. Bearing is 000.
Yeah. This would make for some great rock climbing if it was on land.
I was just thinking the same thing.
You got all
That
sorts
crack.
of handholds, you got cracks.
You rock climb?
I wish.
Neither of you do?
I mean, I have, but I wouldn't say it's like a. I wouldn't say I'm a rock climber, but I have done it.
And to our viewers at home, yes, we are streaming live right now. We're sitting in the control van, seeing things along with you. So thanks for joining us as we explore this area just southwest of Kingman Reef. We're moving up a ridge, taking a look at, you know, the geology and the biology here. Dreaming of rock climbing.
Got a partial zoom there.
Coming in.
Yeah.
That's an urchin.
Yep. Stalked crinoid. There actually is a polychaete on that urchin, kind of that blue stripe.
I was just thinking that. I was like, there's a little bit of discoloration there.
Yeah.
Want to zoom on it?
Could try and get closer. Yeah.
Now what is that?
Go ahead, zoom in there.
So polychaetes are a type of worm, and sometimes they have this bright blue iridescent looking color.
Cool.
But sometimes it's not clear if they're commensal or parasitic. Most likely commensal in some capacity, keeping the urchin clean or eating food that the urchin may have.